England's story starts a long, long time ago, way back in prehistory. This was a time when the land was wild and untamed, covered in dense forests and inhabited by various animals. Early humans roamed these lands, hunting and gathering for survival. We know about this time from old objects people left behind. Tools made of stone, bones and wood give us clues about their daily lives. Archaeologists have uncovered these artifacts, helping us piece together the story of our ancestors. Early humans lived here and they built mysterious things like Stonehenge. This ancient monument, with its massive stones arranged in a circular pattern, still puzzles historians and scientists today. It shows the ingenuity and determination of these early people. Then, in 43 AD, the Romans arrived, and things changed a lot. They came with their advanced technology, military prowess, and a desire to expand their empire. Roman soldiers, led by Emperor Claudius, conquered the Celtic Britons and made the land part of the Roman Empire. This conquest brought new ways of life, new customs and new governance to the region. The Romans were very advanced. They built cities, roads and other important things. Their engineering skills were remarkable, and many of their constructions, like roads and aqueducts, are still visible today. Londinium, which is now London, became a really important place for trade and government. It was a bustling hub of activity with markets, public baths and grand buildings. Roman laws and how they ruled also changed English society, leaving a lasting impact. Their legal system, administrative practices and even their language influenced the local culture. But by the 400 SAD, the Romans weren't so strong in Britain anymore. Their empire was crumbling under pressure from various fronts, and they struggled to maintain control over distant territories. Problems at home and attacks from outside made the Roman soldiers leave. They withdrew their forces to defend the heart of the empire, leaving Britain vulnerable to new invaders. Then groups of Germanic tribes like the Angles arrived. These tribes were looking for new lands to settle and brought their own customs and traditions. Saxons and Jutes followed, each contributing to the cultural melting pot that was forming in the region. They established new communities and began to shape the future of England. These groups came over and settled, and that's where the idea of England really begins. Their arrival marked the start of a new era, laying the foundations for the country we know today. The Anglo-Saxons, who were warriors and believed in many gods at first, slowly became Christians. People like Augustine of Canterbury helped convert the Anglo-Saxon kings. Monasteries popped up, becoming places to learn and share ideas, and they kept old books and knowledge safe. But things weren't peaceful for long. Vikings from Scandinavia started raiding England's coasts. Around the late 700s, Alfred the Great, the King of Wessex, became a hero for the Anglo-Saxons. He won battles and was clever, which helped stop the Vikings from taking over more land. The kings who came after Alfred kept fighting the Vikings and slowly pushed them back. All this fighting between the Anglo-Saxons and Vikings actually helped create a sense of what it meant to be English. The year 1066 was a super important year in English history. When Edward the Confessor died, people couldn't agree who should be king next. William, the Duke of Normandy, said he should be king. But from across the sea, Harold Hardrada, the King of Norway, also wanted the English throne. William got a big army together and sailed across the English Channel. He landed at Pevensey Bay in September 1066, and that's when the Norman conquest began. Harold Godwinson had become the English king, and he marched south with his army to fight William at the Battle of Hastings. The battle was long and brutal, and it decided England's future. William won, and that meant the Normans now ruled England. William, now King William I, quickly took control. He gave land to his Norman soldiers, taking it away from the Anglo-Saxons who had lost. Castles, which showed everyone how powerful the Normans were, started appearing all over England. The Norman conquest changed England a lot. French became the language that important people spoke, and French culture became popular too. Feudalism, which was a way of owning land and serving in the army, became the law of the land. Over time, Old English and Norman French mixed together to create Middle English. Then came the Plantagenets, a family of kings who ruled for over 300 years, starting in the 1100s. Henry II, the first Plantagenet king, made the king more powerful and changed the laws. Richard the Lionheart, a famous warrior king, spent most of his time fighting in the Crusades. The Tudors, who became the royal family in 1485, brought lots of big changes. Their reign marked a significant shift in the political, religious and cultural landscape of England. Henry VII, the first Tudor king, won the throne after the Wars of the Roses, a series of civil wars for control of the throne of England. His victory at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485 marked the end of the Plantagenet dynasty and the beginning of the Tudor era, a time of relative stability and growth. The Tudors made the government stronger, left the Catholic Church, and saw English art and culture blossom. This period also saw the rise of the English Renaissance, with significant advancements in literature, music and the arts. Henry VIII is famous for his 6 wives and for leaving the Roman Catholic Church. His desire for a male heir led to significant religious upheaval. When the Pope wouldn't let him divorce his wife, Henry made himself the boss of the Church of England. This act of defiance against the papacy had far-reaching consequences. This changed England from a Catholic country to a Protestant one, leading to the Protestant Reformation in England and altering the religious landscape of the nation forever. Henry's children, Edward VI, Mary I and Elizabeth I, all had problems with religion and who would be the next king or queen. Each of them faced significant challenges during their reigns. Elizabeth, a very smart ruler, found a middle ground between Catholicism and Protestantism. Her reign, known as the Elizabethan era, is often considered a golden age in English history, marked by relative peace, prosperity and cultural flourishing. When Elizabeth I died in 1603, the Tudors were finished and the Stuarts began. James VI of Scotland became James I of England, joining the two countries together. The Stuart times were full of arguments about religion, a civil war and Parliament becoming more powerful. James I fought with Parliament about religion and taxes. Charles I tried to force Parliament to do what he wanted, and that started the English Civil War in 1642. Oliver Cromwell led the parliamentarians and they won. Charles I was caught, put on trial and executed in 1649. England was a republic for a short time after that. The 1700s saw the start of the Industrial Revolution, a period that would forever change the landscape of England and the world. This era transformed England into the factory of the world, with its booming industries and innovative technologies. New inventions in making cloth, steam engines and ironworks revolutionized production processes, leading to unprecedented economic growth and bustling city streets filled with workers. People flocked to cities in search of jobs and better opportunities, transforming rural landscapes into urban centers. The Industrial Revolution brought immense wealth to some, creating a new upper class, but it also led to significant poverty and harsh living conditions for the working class. The 1800s were marked by Britain's expansion into a vast empire, stretching across continents, while also seeing social reforms aimed at improving the lives of its citizens. During the Victorian era, the British Empire reached its zenith, controlling a quarter of the world's land and influencing cultures and economies globally. However, this period was also plagued by issues like poverty and the exploitation of child labor in factories and mines. The 1900s brought about significant challenges and transformations for England, including rapid industrialization and urbanization. 2 world wars caused immense destruction, economic hardship and profound social changes. In the aftermath of these wars, the British Empire saw its decline as many colonies gained independence, leading to a new world order and the rise of independent nations. Today, in the 21st century, England remains a vibrant and influential country with bustling cities and a dynamic economy. It continues to be a major player in global finance, culture and innovation, shaping the world with its creative industries and new ideas.